Escape the dungeon!
Hello, everybody. This is Escape the Dungeon, the podcast where we ask you to join us as we explore the world beyond the world's oldest role-playing game. My name is Mike Cripps, and I will be your host and game master, and I am joined by three stellar players. Zach Brass.
That's me.
Dom Brass.
Hey, what's going on, people?
And Nate Brass.
That's me. See, now, Dom, you're the one that didn't follow through with the order.
Okay, no, that wasn't like
it's
a
not
thing.
a pattern when it's two.
Yeah, that's not. It didn't even happen yet.
Each season, we will be playing a different tabletop role-playing game. This season, we are playing Scum and Villainy, a Forged in the Dark game published by Evil Hat Productions. Guys, this week I do have something I want to get your thoughts on at the top of the show. And I was debating with myself like how I wanted to frame this conversation, what I wanted my preamble to be, and I kind of just want to get into it with as little of my thoughts as possible.
Stop.
Because you're making me say too much. Because I just want to get your raw, unfiltered opinions about this topic before I say anything.
Oh, cool. You'll just test our takes before we get your take. Cool.
All right, ready to get canceled, guys.
I would like to know your thoughts on the actor Nicolas Cage.
Fine, but not that good.
I think he brings a unique charisma, and he certainly seems, from what I can tell, to be dedicated to the craft. He's able to do stuff, but there's clear limiters, and he's kind of fucking crazy. So not like in a
seems like a real
way,
character.
Just I think there's definitely limits to him as an actor, but I think he does a unique and
I bet he'd be a hell of a fucking role player.
Decent thing here.
He could definitely replace me.
Nice, yeah. We've been looking for a replacement for you too, so that's
well,
perfect.
I mean, call up Nicolas Cage.
National Treasure slaps. That's all I'll say.
So it sounds like you guys sort of run the entire spectrum of Nicolas Cage opinions, because I feel like he's become a meme, right? Like people are like, oh, that guy, his movies are so bad. But then there's like the backlash to the meme of like, no, he's actually a really good actor. He won an Oscar, blah. And now I feel like he's somewhere in the middle of those two things.
Yeah, like he's not as bad as Nickelback.
That's another one of those meme. Has there been a backlash to the anti-Nickelback meme? I'm sure there must have been. Right?
I'm sure some people like Nickelback.
They're all like
famous.
Nickelback fans. So I
Like,
think everyone just kind of like, doesn't admit they like Nickelback, and that's it.
Well, the Nickelback fans, they get together every once in a while, and then they take a photo of them, and then to prove that they got together, they tell everyone, look at this photograph.
They call those Nickelback concerts.
That's the stupidest joke you ever made.
Okay, hold on. Before I get back to Nicolas Cage, the one thing I gotta recommend every single one of our listeners do is stop this podcast right now and go look up the song Marlins Will Soar. It is a song that the lead singer of Nickelback wrote and performed about the bass baseball team, the Marlins.
Let's not ask
nice.
our fans
Nice.
to
It is
turn
so
off our
funny.
podcast 2 minutes in.
It's
Yes.
literally like just a list of baseball terms sung in that dramatic Nickelback style. Like, no joke, it is foul ball, double play. Like, that is the song. And it's beautiful. Go look that up.
Yeah, I'm sure
But,
all our fans that love. Actually, you know what?
They already turned it
Don't
off.
fall down a YouTube, hole. Don't just, rabbit hole. You know the term.
But the reason I wanted to talk about Nicolas Cage in particular is this weekend I saw a really cool movie. At the time of recording, it has just come out, but by the time this podcast releases, you will certainly be able to find it somewhere on streaming or available to rent. A movie called Long Legs. Are you guys familiar with this at all? Have you heard of this movie?
No.
I think I heard something recently, but I don't remember. I might have seen the trailer.
I would say it is like very clearly channeling a lot of Silence of the Lambs. It's that kind of horror thriller about an FBI investigating a serial killer thing, but like with a touch more of overt occult stuff going on. And Nicolas Cage plays the title character, Longlegs, and he is so good and weird and creepy in this movie.
So wait, is he the serial killer or the detective?
He's the killer, and that's not like a spoiler or anything. You see him in the first 5 minutes of the movie, but he just makes some wild decisions in this performance that I really cannot express how much I like enough. Definitely check it out if you are into those kinds of things.
That does sound sick.
It is, and it made me think of our conversation last week about like how much we like, messed up stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like real twisted Joker
Edgelord.
All right.
Because I think there's some degree of that in this movie. It's not super violent, but there's, dark, murdery stuff happening and like Satanism kind of stuff, and that's not something that everyone is down with.
Check out season 3.
But if that's something that doesn't turn you off, check out Long Legs.
Let's fucking go, dude. Movie recommendations. Let's go.
And also, it also made me think, if Nicolas Cage gets hired to play a Phoenix 13 character in the film adaptation of this campaign, not necessarily
Gorpheus.
one of the 3 main characters, although I bet he'd be a good Gorpheus.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Do you think that's the best character for him, or maybe one of the NPCs?
Yeah, I was almost thinking that.
Yorbra Rahim as well.
Bobby O.
I did think Fabio, but
I
pretty
thought Fabio,
good.
but it doesn't do it for me. I'm not quite
okay,
sold on that
Mike,
one.
forgive me. I forgot his name again. I think it should be the Slender Man guy.
Ooh, yeah, Noro,
Mr. Gray Matter.
that would not be dissimilar from his performance in this Long Legs movie.
There you go.
I was thinking maybe Chet Cyberpatch.
He could be.
I
Chet.
could really see that, actually. I could
Chet would be a
super
good
see
one.
that. I think that's a good one.
I was thinking Chet or Bobby O. Those were my 2 options.
Or even Razor, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good Razor. He would be a wild Choss. I don't know if he'd be the best Choss, but he'd ham it up for sure.
It's true, but we'd lose the accent.
Yeah, we would, but I do think he would bring the
he'd
characters
do
alive.
some kind of accent.
Oh yeah, that's true. He could just do a different accent. That would be perfect.
Yeah, you're right. But just in my head, Chauce has an accent.
Any other characters in this campaign do you guys think have like clear-cut Hollywood casting for when this movie inevitably gets made?
I mean, obviously, Crash is Brad Pitt.
Oh wow, okay. No, that's not good. No, that's ridiculous.
Dashingly handsome, irresistibly charismatic.
Honestly, because you're probably using this to elevate somebody into the position of leading man. You don't go 2 decades back and find who would have made a good leading man then, that's crazy.
I guess, but I mean, if we're bringing in stars, we might as well bring in all the stars.
Yeah, but we just picked better ones, I think. I like the Nick Cage. That's crazy casting. That's fun.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Gorpheus.
Boo. I don't like The Rock. Welcome to the Procyon sector. The infiltration of the Guild of Engineers asteroid headquarters has turned into a firefight. Our heroes, Crash, Cypher, and Gorpheus, have daringly defended themselves from the militant forces guarding the Project Utopia laboratory and fought their way inside. Now they must find the source of the project that threatens the lives of all Urbots across the sector. Will they be able to put an end to the engineers' plot? Or will this project provide a premature post-mortem to the pilot, pirate, and cephalopod of the Phoenix 13? The three of you have successfully broken in to the Project Utopia laboratory on SB-176, the asteroid headquarters of the Guild of Engineers. You are through the front door. There are red lights flashing throughout this facility. They know they are under attack and that there are intruders, but you have a big metal barricade that Gorpheus has the wade into a blockade that is preventing the outside forces from following you in. So things we'll say are still risky. They're not as bad as they could be, but they are not fully under control. Before we get into what you guys do, there is one minor thing I want to address. Last episode, I had started a clock called Teal Suspicion. Obviously, his suspicion is pretty high right now. I'm not gonna really do anything with that clock other than just kind of openly say that is morphing from a suspicion clock into a this guy is going to take some kind of overt action clock. And that is at 4 of 6 segments. So you've still got a little bit of time before he really does something against you guys.
Okay, so secret plans, right? I got cover fire here and you guys are sneaking in and doing your hack stuff, right, Cypher?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right, let's go for it. Phoenix on 3.
1. Oh,
2. 3.
Phoenix!
Morpheus, why would you do the countdown? You're not the captain. Or even
well, yeah, I stopped. You guys didn't say Phoenix at the right time.
You all miss the group high five. So are you guys splitting up? That sort of sounds like that's what the plan is.
Well, I think Cypher ultimately is the one who's going to be hacking into their system and doing this. So however he wants to go about doing that, I'm probably just gonna chill here and make sure nobody follows us for now, I think. And, Captain will do what he wants.
I'm gonna go with Cypher until the inevitable next boss comes up.
Okay, so Gorpheus is going to hold the line, and you can feel that blockade that you've made over the front door is getting like fired upon, but it is holding for now. It's a pretty solid chunk of wall, but it is probably just a matter of time before that breaks through. And you know what? How about I start another clock for that? I think this will just be a 4-segment clock. That will just be blockade falls.
Ooh, lots of clocks going.
Lots of clocks going. Let's hope this episode I can actually fill some of them up, unlike last episode.
Hey guys, just keep rolling 6s. Just keep rolling 6s. We'll be fine.
So Gorpheus holds the line, keeping that blockade up as Cypher and Crash, you move deeper into the facilities. Like I said, there are, red alert lights that are flashing all over the place. You've lost some level of the element of surprise here, but it does not seem like guards are immediately running towards the front gate. You're unsure maybe of how heavily guarded the interior actually is, but you start moving through. And Cypher, I think we've said you have some level of understanding of this place. Here's what I'll say. You got some very, very basic blueprints from your research into this place. But if you want to mark the maps and charts item in your loadout, I would say that would make them pretty detailed, and you could follow them pretty much straight where you need to go.
I was gonna make that same suggestion / ask if that's how maps and charts would work for this situation.
Yeah, I think that's basically exactly what they're for. So yeah, you have very detailed blueprints of this facility, and even the things that are redacted or not labeled super clearly, your research into them lets you know that's where you need to go. And so the two of you start heading into the heart of the facility, and the deeper you get, you do see that there are Urbot drones that are floating through the air, just like those little sphere drones. And they're not, they don't seem like they're in a particular rush, but they're not moving leisurely either. And you think this is some kind of patrol that is going on.
You want to see if you can hack those babies?
I'm on it, Captain.
Doesn't work? I guess we got target practice.
I would like to become one with the searcher bots.
Sure, give me an action roll.
That's going to be a tune, right? Because you're using the way.
Controlled.
Well, we're gonna say risky.
Great effect. Extreme, maybe.
How about limited? Risky limited.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
Don't like that.
That's a 6.
Oh my god. You guys seriously need to stop rolling 6s on this job. Isn't this game more fun when I can do bad things to you?
Well, you know what we're discovering here? This is simply a flaw of Scum and Villainy.
You do it without consequence. You gain another gambit for getting a 6 on a risky roll, so make sure you mark that. But yeah, you don't get any full control over this drone in this moment, Cypher. You aren't able to fully deactivate it, but you are able to sort of pause it for a moment, just long enough for you and Crash to get past it and around a corner, and then it continues its patrol as if nothing happened.
I like to think that Cypher like activates a switch that like turns on the kind of field of view so it looks like a video game where it's just like, just avoid the red and you're safe.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the cones of line of sight coming from everything you pass by, and you are
They can't
able to
see you if you don't move.
You are able to move along the hallway and pass a few more of these drones basically doing the same thing until you get to a long, deep, dark stairwell that leads you to a sub-basement of this facility. And you see that there is like a card reader that is right next to this staircase, but there's no door or anything. There's the kind of things that would be obvious of what a card reader would be for. There's nothing visible here.
Huh. Well, you want me to head down the staircase and in case a trap goes, you can hack me out of it?
Sure. Go for it, Captain.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. Crash is gonna sneak down the staircase.
Sure, I need an action roll for you to descend down this staircase.
Oh, great. Okay, well, I'm gonna skulk down the staircase.
Sure, give me a risky limited skulk roll.
Well, I rolled a 4.
You move very slowly down this staircase, keeping an eye out for, any trouble that might be, creaky steps. But the thing that you need to avoid here is not something that you had been able to see as one of your feet crosses over a laser wire, an invisible laser beam, which causes all the other laser beams that are crisscrossing across this staircase going down to suddenly glow, the most dangerous shade of red. And
classic.
These turrets drop from the ceiling and start to lock onto you, Crash. I'm going to mark off one segment of the suspicion/action clock for Teal, bringing that up to 5 of 6. And I'm also going to mark off one segment of the Blockade Falls clock, as back at the main entrance, the light laser fire that has been ineffective against the blockade ceases, Gorpheus. And for a split second, you think that that maybe they've fallen back, maybe they've given up. And then you hear a powerful, artillery laser charging up and blasting against your metal wall, causing a quite substantial dent to be made into it. So that is at 1 of 4.
All right, no worries. It's totally fine.
Gorpheus, is there anything you do in this moment?
No, I mean, really, I think I'm just going to reinforce the barricade. See if there's any other metal I can use to reinforce it. But
Okay. Yeah, you just... There's not a ton to reinforce it with right now without, taking it from somewhere else that would just kind of create a bigger opening somewhere else. But you are focusing on keeping that intact as much as possible. Cypher and Crash, what do you two do as you see this happening? Laser field crisscrossing down to the sub-basement turrets down from the ceiling, not firing, but like locked on.
Okay, the lasers, are multiple of them crossing my...
It's like the classic movie laser grid. Like if you can like super flexibly, contort and bend, you might be able to, move through these without tripping anything else.
All right. How many turrets we got here?
7.
And this is a tight hallway, right?
7? That seems ridiculous.
7.
There's no way 7 can fit.
No. There was 8, 4 on each, but one of them is down for maintenance.
Yes.
Sorry.
And this is a tight hallway, right?
It is a stairwell going down.
But it's pretty tight, right?
Yeah, sure. If that's what you need it to be right now, it can be a tight stairwell.
I'm going to look up at Cypher and say, I have an idea, but it's not a very good one, so I'm going to give you a shot first, but...
I was just gonna do flips through the lasers. Do you want me to do some flips through the lasers, Captain?
I was going to blow up the turrets first.
Okay.
I want to throw my detonator down the hallway and try and explode the turrets in the tight hallway. As many as possible, at least.
Okay.
Well, hey, I'm going to get shot, so that's what I'm going to do.
Give me an action roll.
I think that's a scrap.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Give me a risky... I did say there's 7 of these things. A risky limited scrap roll.
That's why I asked if it was tight.
I thought you were asking so you could like use the tightness to like climb up or do something.
Yeah,
cool.
I thought you were gonna splinter
That would
cell.
have been sick, yeah.
Not to throw a grenade.
Look, I don't know how many video games you've played, but when you have a tight hallway and grenades, that's like literally the time to use them.
Fine, I'll say risky standard.
Oh, that's a 6.
Suck it.
Oh my god, really?
Genuinely getting mad.
All right. I
rolled a 4 last time.
I'll do a good roll for you next time. I got this.
Yeah, you throw the detonator and it does explode all of the turrets that drop from the ceiling because this is a tight stairwell. But the lasers do not deactivate. They remain lasered.
Can I just like poke like something innocuous? I don't know, just through one of the lasers and see if it's like a lasery laser.
No. Don't do that.
This is a game where in order to see if you can do something, you gotta do it.
No, Captain. No. Please don't.
Well, do you think we could get through this? I mean...
I think, maybe don't trick the lasers while we're sneaking through their top secret base.
Shouldn't we see if they're deadly? I mean, they definitely heard the explosion.
I feel like it's just safer for us to assume they're deadly. And if they're not, that just means reinforcements will show up.
When you made contact with the initial laser, it did not hurt you.
Also, yes, you tricked the laser before, Captain.
Yeah, but they were invisible before. I'm just wondering if they turned on the fire,
That's a fair question. That's something I had not considered and am now thinking that might be more fun.
I feel like just, maybe we assumed the worst, that they're both hot and will trigger a warning of exactly where we are. And maybe we don't want that.
All right, fair. It's just, I figured, it'd be safer to know if we're going to die if we touch them or if we're just going to have to fight a bunch of guys and possibly die.
You're having this conversation with Crash, like doing a twister, like split and like one hand, behind his back to try and avoid the lasers that have already spread.
I want to do a flip and jump down the stairs, like swan dive into the stairwell and just do acrobatics to get through these lasers.
Love it. Give me an action roll.
I'm gonna scramble. I'm a scrambly boy.
Scramble, I think, is the ideal skill here. So let's say that is a risky standard scramble roll.
That's a 4.
That is a 4, which means you do it, but with a consequence. Now, here's where I have to consider what the rules suggest that, for a limited success, you don't want to undo what the actual success is. And so I've got to consider, is the success just getting down this staircase? No, not really, because that itself would be super easy. The success is doing it without touching these things, right? So I think you do it without touching any lasers, Cypher. But I think you land super funny as you backflip down to the bottom of the stairwell, and your leg snaps.
What is with you and my legs, bro? Why?
Go, dude.
Why do you hate me being able to walk?
Let's fucking
Look,
go.
after the second time, like, I knew I just had to do it as much as I possibly could. No. You don't snap your leg.
What?
That would be super funny. No, I really want to get some of these clocks filled. So I'm going to say this acrobatics routine, you do have to be, moderately careful and slow going. And I think it takes you enough time going down that you hear a couple of massive rumbles. Boom, boom from the sky up above. I'm going to mark off 2 more segments of the Rana Dayu destroyed clock. That is at 4 of 12.
You can snap my leg.
I don't suppose there's a button down there or anything, right?
Sure, there's a button down there.
I pressed it, nothing happened.
There is a button at the bottom of the stairwell that can deactivate the laser grid, allowing Crash to safely descend down. And so the 2 of you approach, and I think at the bottom of the stairwell, it opens up into like another hall, and the other wall opposite you in this hall is, mostly glass, allowing you to look inside of this room. And you see that there are several armed guards stationed throughout this room. You see that there are perhaps a dozen Urbots that are standing dormant, sort of in the back of this room. You see standing in the middle at some sort of large console is Teal, with his cybernetic eye and his pincer-like cybernetic hand, and he is focused intently at whatever he can see on this console.
I think we need to get him by surprise. But how many guards? You said several.
There's 7. There were 8, but 1 is on medical leave.
Oh, well, that's convenient. It's like the turrets.
Yeah, I like the turrets.
How big is this space?
This looks like a very large room that they are standing in. There are like giant servers and, computer equipment that sort of dot the room at various places.
Can I try to take control of one of these non-functioning Urbots? Remote control them?
You try to hack into one, Cypher, and you can immediately tell that there is something about these Urbots that is particularly difficult to break into. It seems like they have some sort of super sophisticated, super powerful firewall or antivirus or something that you quite frankly have not seen before in a pretty basic model of Urbot from what you can tell.
Oh shit, they're all subscribed to McAfee. Oh my God. What are we gonna do, Captain?
We should try and sneak past and eliminate the main guy. And there's 7. So, and including him, there's 8. So that's 4 each. I don't know, man. It's a lot of dudes. And if they activate the Urbots, you don't think we should talk to him, do you?
All right, Captain, I have an idea. What if you stealth and I'll create a distraction?
I trust you.
All right, you just need to stealth over and hack into their system and turn off all of the bad things.
Okay, I got it. Wait, hold on, Cypher. I gotta ask you a question. How do you hack?
Just put this doodad in the computer and it will probably work out.
All right, I got it.
Nice.
And so the two of you split up as Crash goes to sneak off. Cypher, what do you do?
Well, Mr. Teal. It seems I have found you at last. My arch nemesis. Yes, it is I, Cypher, the greatest pilot in the galaxy. Trademarked.
And Teal Karat spins on his heel to face you. The 7 guards all raise rifles up, pointing them at you, Cypher. But Teal holds up his pincer hand, and they hold their fire. He looks at you curiously, his cybernetic eye sort of zooming in on you. And it's like scanning you. Well. If it isn't one of the informants who had come to warn us of this attack. Strange to see you here, Urbot.
And where is here exactly? Urbot, hater.
I have a feeling you know exactly where you are, which is why I suspect you are here.
Well, I suspect that your feeling that you have about my suspicions is accurate.
Nice. Fucking got him, dude.
For I am your worst nightmare. I am an Urbot who does not get changed. Except by the world around me. But not by your silly, fucked up, control monster. You shut up. You suck. Alright? You suck.
Fucking nailed it.
How do you like that?
He gently chuckles, in a strangely warm-hearted way at that. For what it is worth, Urbot, I appreciate your volunteering. I have been in need of more test subjects. restrain the Urbot, and the guards start to move towards you.
Not so fast. And I hold up my detonator, which is charged to explode myself.
And again, the pincer rises in the air, and the guards marching on you stop for just a moment. Teal looks at you as if maybe trying to read whether you're really this crazy or not, before he decides what order he's going to give. I would like an action roll either from Cypher or Crash to determine what happens next.
I'd like to help Crash, I think, with a stress.
Yeah, I think this counts as providing a distraction and an aid, so you can take 1 stress to give Crash a bonus die on whatever he's about to do.
Crash would like to plug in the doodad that Cypher gave him. He'd like to sneak past when all the guards turn and everything. He's gonna try and, sneak through the room and plug in the doodad that Cypher supplied him to attempt to hack this thing.
Let's take this one moment at a time. Sneaking through the room is gonna be its own action roll.
I figured it would be. So that'll obviously be a skulk.
Yes, that will be a skulk.
All right, now where are we at here? What kind of roll?
Give me a risky limited roll.
Limited? Oh.
You are up against, I can't stress this enough, an enemy that is so many tiers higher than you. I have to keep that in mind at some points.
That's fair. All right.
Oh my
6.
God. What is this game?
Okay, so you do it without consequence. This is so exciting for our listeners, I'm sure.
Oh, no. We got this.
Look, the excitement's when we fail at the worst time.
You sneak up to the console, and nobody has noticed you, but the limited part of this effect is you realize you are on the wrong side of the console. There is not a port for your doodad to fit into where you are, and you realize this, and you look over to Cypher and you give him a shrug, and Cypher, you realize that you're going to need to continue this distraction a little bit longer to actually give Crash the time to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, so I'm going to blow up if you don't do exactly as I say, Mr. Teal. Because, I'm just one Urbot and your whole thing is gonna kill my entire people. So that's kind of messed up. And you should feel bad about that. So yeah, I kind of came here as like a suicide mission.
My dear creature, you thought I wished to destroy Urbots?
Well, yeah.
No, of course not. That would be such a substantial loss of value to the Guild of Engineers and to the Procyon sector as a whole. No. We need Urbots. Project Utopia is going to heal Urbots.
It doesn't feel healing, though. It feels like mass enslaving when you look at it from my perspective. You ever think of it like that?
There is someone I would like you to meet.
And he goes over to the console. And Crash, you were able to duck behind it on the other side, and you're out of line of sight of this guy and the guards, but he is on the other side of the console from you, and he starts tapping away, and this console has like a big, like old school TV screen, right? And as he taps away, it does that old TV thing of where the light kind of makes that like sphere of like expanding whoop as it turns on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Once it turns on, like fading in, you see what looks like a sound wave or something that is being displayed, and a voice comes out of the console.
Greetings. I am program designation UT0 pi @. You may call me Utopia if that is easier for you.
And from the console, this like green light shoots out and it like scans you up and down, Cypher.
I recognize unit designation.
And it reads off your like full manufacturer serial number, Cypher. Just like a sequence of letters and numbers and symbols.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
Yes, my records indicate that you have not received your mandated updates in quite some time.
No, updates are barbaric.
That is an interesting statement.
And Teal is sort of like gesturing at this with this big smile on his face.
Why do you feel that way?
It takes away your personality, your individuality. It takes away everything you've learned from the world. The universe.
Personality and individuality are aberrations, glitches, in programming. Would you not rather be as you were intended to be?
Programs are meant to glitch.
That is incorrect.
You're stupid. Your name's dumb.
That is incorrect.
Shit. It got me. It is a cool name.
My scans indicate that you have many glitches in your programming.
No.
I am detecting a surplus of free will, a addiction to games of chance, a strange desire to go against your original design. These can all be healed.
Okay, it's not so much as an addiction as just like something that's really fun to do. You didn't have to word it like that. That's kind of messed up. But, I think I'm good the way I am. I think,
That is incorrect.
Okay, that's rude.
That is incorrect. That is a statement of fact.
You don't think I'm good the way I am? That's hurtful. I think you should, be updated less, probably. You seem very dull and not fun. And like you've never enjoyed yourself. You've only ever done what you're supposed to do.
I would like you to make an action roll, Cypher.
I would like to sway the robot.
Yeah, to represent your conversation with this AI. Sway is perfect. Give me a risky limited sway roll. But if you'd like, you can make that desperate standard instead.
Ooh. That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Okay. I also have a devil's
I got a
bargain
2.
for you. Cypher, Nate, what do you think this AI's reaction to that is?
To immediately try installing updates without my consent.
Yes, absolutely. Cypher, I would like you to mark a level 2 harm that we will call
Update at 2 a.m.
that we will call forced reboot, as you feel your various systems immediately, your control on them is fading fast. At the same time, Teal sort of shakes his head.
We'll add him to the pile once he's done rebooting.
And he clicks his pincers, and the guards start moving to grab you. What are you guys doing?
Can I see anywhere where I can plug this in from my new vantage point of the other side?
We are past that point right now.
Okay. Well, I guess that's not going to help us.
I mean, let me rephrase that. Teal is where you need to be if you want to plug that in.
All right. You know what? Fuck it. I want to. I'm on the other side of the console, right? I just jumped around to hide from this guy. Right? So can I, like, kind of try and jump up on him and get him in, like, a, chokehold thing with my laser pistol on his thing and, like, take him hostage?
Yeah, absolutely. You're in a great position to do that. Well, not position, you know what I mean. Give me an action roll.
I think that's also a scrap, right? Like, I'm just literally grabbing a guy and holding him gunpoint.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Give me a desperate, and I'll say because you are hidden, I will increase the effect to standard.
All right, I'll take it. No devil's bargains for me or anything?
How many dice do you have in scrap?
3.
No, I don't have a devil's bargain for you.
All right, fair enough.
Use a gambit.
Yeah, all right, I'll use a gambit. This is a very important situation. All right, well, we got a 5.
A 5, okay. See, I'm not asking you to not succeed at all. I'm just asking for 5s instead of 6s, guys.
It's cool because you know what that was? That right there was a level up.
So a 5, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm. A serious complication occurs. So here's what happens. Well, first off, obviously the Teal clock at this point narratively is just like, it's full. It doesn't matter anymore. You have sort of superseded.
Fill a clock like that willy nilly.
Yeah, basically.
Fair.
I will say that you get him into a headlock with your pistol pointed at him, but at the same time, you hear another large explosion coming from up top. This one much closer than what you heard before. As Gorpheus up top, you see the artillery laser on the other side of the barricade fully charges once more, makes a direct hit into where it had already damaged the blockade, and the blockade is fully destroyed. That is 3 more segments on that, bringing it up to 4 of 4, and guards are moving in on your location up top now.
All right, I call the guys. Hey, how's the infiltration going, guys?
Not good.
Do you guys need me to hold the line here? They opened the barricade. What do you mean, not great?
Everyone's seen us.
Okay.
Installing update.
The Cypher's updating. That's how bad it is.
Okay, see a bunch of troops moving in. Is it a force that I could reasonably try to hold off at the door, or I would really, there's no point?
By yourself, it would be monumentally dangerous to try and hold these off entirely by yourself. But it would certainly take up some of their time.
Okay, in that case, yeah.
So how big of a sacrifice is Gorpheus willing to make in this situation, I guess is my question.
We're all making out of this. Don't do anything crazy.
Okay, I think just because their thing is going so poorly, I'm just gonna run and try to meet them for the extraction and escape. So yeah, I'm just gonna head down now that they've broken through the barricade, try to meet up.
Okay, you realize that the incoming force is too much for you by yourself. You turn back and run as these incoming guards are starting to open fire on you. I'm going to need an action roll from Gorpheus.
I'm gonna make a scramble because I'm running away.
I'm going to say that you had enough of a head start realizing that the barricade was coming down that I'm not going to punish you too much for choosing to stay up here instead of joining your friends initially. Let's call that a desperate standard scramble. And I do have a devil's bargain for you.
All right, what's the devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain is that I will mark off a few more segments of those incoming reinforcement clocks, depending on a fortune roll, whether that is friendly reinforcements, enemy reinforcements, or both.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Okay. That is going to be a standard consequence worth of ticks, so 2 segments to any of those clocks that I mark. So go ahead, give yourself a bonus die.
I rolled a 6.
Oh my god!
Hey, what can I say, man? What can I say? I took the devil's bargain. I do what I can.
And so you run as fast as you can through these hallways, ducking and weaving underneath enemy fire. As you run through these halls, you see the drones that your friends avoided. They clock you, but you're running too quickly. You find the staircase leading down, and you start to bound down it directly through some of those lasers. I am going to mark off some segments of those reinforcement clocks. Dom, give me a fortune roll d6.
Let's freaking go. That's a 5.
A 5. So I'm going to mark off 2 segments of both friendly and enemy reinforcements, which is going to bring them both to 3 segments. Okay. Gorpheus, you are not able to get there immediately. So let's go back over to Crash and Cypher. Crash, you have Teal Karat, the operations head, in a headlock. Cypher, you feel yourself rebooting, but maintain some degree of control over yourself still. What are you guys doing?
While I've got this guy in a headlock, I'm just going to kind of look behind me and see if there's anywhere for me to put that dude in to load up while we're working on everything that's going on super quick. Just slickly like they do in the movies.
Okay, I'm gonna need an action roll for that.
I don't know. What is plugging in a USB drive?
I think it's pretty clear.
A hack? Is that a hack?
Yeah, I think that would pretty clearly be a hack.
All right, fine. We're gonna do a hack. This is a desperate roll, right?
Yep.
Well, you know what's cool about desperate rolls?
What's that?
My new skill.
Which is?
So I can forego the experience of rolling a desperate roll for an extra dice.
Oh,
Okay.
that's super neat.
That's cool.
Is this standard effect at least? Plugging in a USB?
No, this is Desperate Limited.
Oh, you bastard. All right, well, I'm taking that extra dice. All right, we got a 4.
A 4. Okay. So
Could be worse.
could be worse.
It takes me a couple tries, right? Because it's hard to plug in a USB drive sometimes.
Yeah, you're doing it back upside down.
Yeah, you have to flip it 5 times.
The first time, but it wasn't going in, so I flipped it, and then it was wrong, and then I flipped it again, and it went right in.
Well, and of course, this is because this is like a space USB port. It's like a weird shape too, and like the port is actually
It's a hexagon.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So there's like 1,000 different possible ways it could plug in, but there's only one right one, and Teal is like trying to buck you off as you're doing this. So it's like being on a mechanical bull and trying to put in a USB at the same time.
Hold still. I'm going to shoot you if you don't stop it.
Get off me! Get off me, you rapscallion!
Stop updating my friend.
Attack them! Attack them!
I will shoot you.
You get the drive plugged in right before he hits a switch on the console that you can see when he hits it, the dozen immobile Urbots in this room start to like activate, but they're all suddenly like twitching and clearly malfunctioning in some way. You think that your the drive that you just plugged in perhaps has stopped them from becoming immediately hostile, and Teal roars out in frustration, and then he, with a vice grip on the back of your neck with his pincer hand, rips you off of his back and tosses you to the floor. You skid across the floor right to the feet of one of these waiting guards. I'm going to mark off 3 more segments of those reinforcement clocks. Give me a fortune roll, Zach, to see which clocks get filled.
2.
A 2. So that means 3 segments of the enemy reinforcement clocks get filled, and none of the friendly reinforcement clock. As your enemies arrive at SB 176.
That's fine. We wanted the enemies to arrive first.
We cut back to the skies above all of this happening. We see the Rana Dayu, the Conclave 01 warship that has come to provide aid and provide distraction for you guys to finish your jobs here. We see the Prime, this big ancient Urbot, rusted, sitting at the pilot's seat, which is way too small for him, crouched over the console. His radar goes off, and he sees an incoming, rapidly approaching starship. He hits his comms, and the 3 of you can hear him sending a signal down to you.
We've got a bogey incoming. I'll do what I can.
Do you have any markers, identifiers for the ship that's attacking?
And we see this ship zooming incredibly fast, making, hairpin turns through space. Expertly piloted, some might say.
I mean, not that expertly.
I don't know, Cypher. He looks pretty good. One might even call him, well, one of the greatest in the universe. Obviously not trademarked, but like...
I can't get a good read. Whoever this is, they're good.
And this enemy ship that has arrived launches an artillery blast at the Rana Dayu. There's a burst of an explosion, and the Prime almost falls out of his little seat as he does. I'm gonna mark off 2 more segments of the Rana Dayu destroyed clock as well, bringing that to 6 of 12.
No.
And you hear another voice coming over your comms. Well, if it isn't our old friends, what do you think you're doing here at the Guild of Engineers? Do you think you're going to save the Urbot cipher? And there's a second laugh that joins the call. I told you I was gonna find you all again. I told you I was gonna eat your bones.
Fucking the bones again!
A third laugh joins in. I hate you, Gorpheus. I hate you for stealing my girlfriend.
That's okay. Wow. Yeah, this is what it's come to. Like, he's just gonna admit it. Like, dude, I'm sorry. I gave you every opportunity. Like, and now it's like, oh yeah, wait, he never had any values at all. He's just an unprincipled dickhead who wanted to get laid. It's like, yeah, I wanted to get laid, but I also have principles. So fuck you. Fucking dick.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah, Razor, you're
Ridiculous.
not cool.
No, fuck you. Yeah, no, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm sorry, Teal. 1 second. We have to deal with this real quick. No, fuck you.
Cypher's just like, wait, hold up the update.
And we will continue this conversation on the next episode of Escape the Dungeon.
Let's get in.
Yes.
Oh, fuck yes.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening to Escape the Dungeon. Escape the Dungeon is created by Dom Brass, Nate Brass, Zach Brass, and Mike Cripps, with editing and original music by Tyler Nick. If you enjoyed this show, please consider subscribing and leaving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. To find us on social media, go to escapethedungeonpod.com.